One thing I hate about every zombies map and how it should be fixed. Don't take this video too seriously, this is all in good fun. Every COD zombies map is amazing. I'm looking at you, Transit. Starting with Noct or Untoten. The one thing that I hate about Noct is how slow the zombies spawn in the first like 5 rounds. If they would just speed it up, the map would be so much better. For Varuk, there's just not much to do. If they had like a shield, Easter egg, side Easter egg, it would make it a lot more fun and a lot more replayable. For Shino Numa, if they just had a Pack-a-Punch, this map might be an all-time god map. For Darius, there's kind of nothing that comes to mind to me. I guess the one thing I don't like is that there would be a perk limit. Even that's pushing it though. For Keynote or Toten, if they would just literally get rid of the Nova 6 crawlers, everything would be so much better. For 5, the map is like very tight in some locations. If they would just expand it by a couple feet, it would make it much more bearable to play. For Ascension, there's not much that is good. One thing that I think about is the monkeys. If they don't take your perks, it's just far less annoying to play. For Call of the Dead, another one that's pretty good. The only thing that I can think of is that it's kind of like dark and dull. Then again, you're like in a blizzard, so it kind of makes sense. For Shangri-La, my least favorite thing is like the mud maze on that one side of the map. It literally never takes me to where I want to go. It always takes me to the opposite location. For Moon, my least favorite thing is the PES helmets. Remembering to put on the PES and like trading it for the hacker and stuff is very tedious. For Transit, there's not much that I do like, so the one thing that I'll probably pick is going to be the Denizens. Those are just like mega annoying. They get on you like every 5 seconds if you're in the fog. It's kind of crazy. For Nuketown Zombies, the only problem is if you don't get Jug until like round 17 or 20, then it gets a little bit sus. Die Rise would be so much better if they had PhD flopper. The map is literally made for PhD. I don't know what they were thinking. For Mob of the Dead, it's another one that I really like too. I guess I would say Afterlife can get a little tedious sometimes. For Buried, the Witch's House is the most annoying thing ever. If they steal all my points by the time I'm trying to go Pack-a-Punch, it just makes me so mad. One of the only things wrong with Origins is the mud. It's very annoying to get slowed down and have your sprint stop. For Shadows of Evil, it's another pretty near perfect map. I'd say my least favorite thing is the Margwas. I was just never really a fan of that boss zombie. The Giant might be the map that Treyarch perfected. It's like a combination of all the simple maps leading up to it, like a town, you know, whatever, and they just do everything perfectly. Except for this, and it's gonna sound super tacky, but literally I can't think of anything. They should have put Widow's Wine on the map just to make it more casual proof, because that perk is OP. Dreisendrach is another near perfect map. I literally can't think of anything other than like the fire bow steps are really annoying to do, and every other bow is like easier. For Setsubo no Shima, my least favorite thing is how you can like cough in a bunch of spores and stuff. I've never been a fan of the way you open Pack-a-Punch in Garad Krovi. If they change that up a little bit, it would make it a little more fun. Revelations is one of those maps that just kind of gets boring quicker than others. I think it's because we've probably seen a lot of the map before, because it is just like a bunch of other pieces of maps like thrown into one, if that makes sense. I'm definitely a lot higher on Voyage of Despair than most people, but the one thing that I can think of would be the map layout can get a little confusing for people, and it's kind of tight in some areas. If they just expanded it a little bit somehow, then I think it would appeal to a lot more people. 9 is one of my favorite maps, but the one thing that I really don't like is the fire in the spawn room. Once that turns on, that training spot goes from phenomenally amazing to probably just a tick down because you can burn to death. Classified kind of has the same issue as 5 because it's a remaster. If they just made it a little bit less tight in some areas, it would be a lot better. I think Dead of the Night might be my least favorite map of all time. The setting is pretty cool, but like it doesn't even look like a house, first of all, and you just have to remember like 100,000 things if you want to even like turn on the power. Ancient Evil is another really good map, but I think the Ross step on solo might be one of the most annoying and tedious steps of all time. My least favorite thing about Alpha Omega is that there's not really a great spot to train the zombies. If there was like a more open area in the map somewhere, it would be a lot more fun. Tagged or Toten kind of disappoints me because the new Thunder Gun is just a worse version of the old Thunder Gun. If they got a new Wonder Weapon, the map would be a lot more interesting. D-Machine's biggest problem kind of goes along with a lot of the Cold War maps, where they basically hand you the Easter egg. It kind of ruins the fun for the first initial hunt of the Easter egg. For Firebase Z, the Mimic step is not my favorite. If they could change it a little bit, then the Easter egg would be a lot more replayable. Outbreak would be a lot more fun if you had like a vehicle on command at all times. I think that would make the whole mode just so much better. For Mauer or Toten, I'm not the biggest fan of how the variant system works with the Wonder Weapon. For Forsaken, to me, it just never felt like the map had any flow. If they could add less areas and less teleporters, I think it could benefit the map. For the Vanguard maps, I never even played Vanguard. We could just burn the whole thing, that would be fun. You should check out this video that YouTube is recommending to you. They think you'd like it.